shit like, hey, thanks everybody. Glad to have you here. Oh my god, great to be back again for was it session 3 of Call of Cthulhu, the Tunguska initiative. Yeah, just happy to be back to doing this on Mates of Fate. Now I've got again some familiar faces and some relatively new ones. So kicking off with first up the man with the goddamn Tommy gun over there, because I think that needs to be addressed.
Oh, the child came in just at that moment. Hold on.
Oh, the business center?
Yeah, no, it's right there. Yeah, I'm Ironhead 454 or Ben. You can find me on the Discord either at Mates of Fate or Slices and Dices, and sometimes we stream on Slices and Dices as well. You can also find me on TikTok under Ironhead 454, where I make fun of my children and play with the pets and I don't know, make stupid videos. So yeah.
Nice. All right. Up next, we got Lance Corporal over there.
Me?
Yeah, that'd be you.
Yo, what up? I'm Joe B. I'm playing Lance Corporal Lester Green. Pretty excited. Let's see. I'm on the Discord on XJoeBX, and you can find me on Instagram at Flying and Magic. And yeah, excited to keep playing. Thanks.
I got an uncle named Joey B, but not related.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Up next, we've got a man with all the games behind him. You can see him. God, you got too many.
Yeah, too many. I'm worried that the shelf's going to topple over. I need a new IKEA shelf to
bring
bring some of that down. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Elkins. So, yeah, I'm super excited to keep playing this awesome game so far. You can find me on Discord in the Mates of Fate Discord, as well as Slices and Dices, and several other ones as well, as A Bard Most Brave. And then I'm on Instagram as Mike Elkins Fan Page Official. That's pretty much it. Super excited, Matt. Happy Halloween, by the way.
Oh, yeah, happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah. Speaking of spooky, I don't know, the background's coming through, but Pete, what we got here, man?
Hi, everyone. I'm Pete. You can find me on the Fates of Fate Discord server as B-Way Marshall. I'm all over Discord, various communities, and under that name, you can find me on Twitter at Pete Maze. Yep, it's still a dumpster fire over there. Also on Blue Sky as Pete Maze, and on Instagram as B-Way Marshall. So definitely excited tonight to continue this crazy adventure, and let's see what's gonna happen.
And then I don't know where you're going to be on the layout for me, but Julie, down there for me right now, like over there.
Hi, I'm Julie. You notice me. I have words that don't want to go in the right order tonight. Hopefully that'll straighten out. I'm Drizzt on Discord. I'm over on Slices and on Mates and other random gaming Discords. And that's about it on social media. I enjoy the peace and quiet of not joining the other ones. So just stick with stuff that I enjoy, which is hanging with all of you guys. You guys are awesome.
Nice. No, it's honestly the best thing to do in the modern hellscape that is social media. And last but certainly not least, my God, look at her. What a vision. In the glasses there. Yeah, yo. Yeah.
I'm Alicia, play Billy Grayson, and you can find me on Discord at Aren't You Glad I Didn't Say Banan, but that's about it.
Is that set up that way because you couldn't fit the last A in?
Yeah, Clockwork Orange. You're glad I couldn't say
so
banan.
Close. So close.
Yeah. All right, and yeah, I'm Matt, by the way. I forgot to introduce myself, but if you're here, you probably know me by now. And yeah, I'm not very social, so don't look for me on socials. So let's get going. A couple things. One, the sounds you're hearing right now are coming to you courtesy of Syrinscape, a music thing for all your music needs. They've got a whole bunch of sound sets and different things you can use for your online streaming needs. Mike, did I miss anything on that, or is that pretty much the gist of it?
Sound effects, ambiance, all
Sound
sorts of
effects and
stuff.
ambiance.
It's
They have all sorts of stuff that you
pretty
can do
awesome.
with it. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. And with that, I think we're probably ready to. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Let's play some Call of Cthulhu.
All right.
All right. So if I can first do this thing right, hold on.
Left on a cliffhanger
So yeah, when last
Literally.
we,
or a tree hanger.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. You are currently hanging from a tree, aren't you? Yeah. So when last we left off, our
Wait, who's hanging from a tree? I thought I'm
You.
hanging from a tree.
You're
Okay.
hanging
You
from
are.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
So
of you I have
Right.
not played as many games with, and the one thing you have to know about me is I have the absolute worst memory. I have to be reminded every session what happened in the last session. But I remember hanging from a tree.
Yeah, no, you're the
Yeah.
one in the tree, mister. I've jumped out of airplanes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Forgot.
Cthulhu
Yeah.
called your bluff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I blame my memory loss on having children, so I feel like I was better at retaining this information, and then I had children, and it all
It
went
was-
in my brain.
It all
That's
became
okay.
short-term memory. Yep. Agreed.
I barely remember, so don't worry too much. I had to go through.
We all lived the 51st dates mental mindset.
God damn it! I just pictured Rob Schneider from that fucking movie. All right, thanks, Pete. God damn, like
Sorry.
one dead eye. The one thing I can't forget. Yeah. So yeah, last session when we left off, you guys reached Yeniseisk from Moscow, where you stocked up on provisions for the most part. You got outfitted for this expedition. Very brief, itty bitty. I don't know anything in real life about skydiving, and neither does the characters that are in this. So you learned about skydiving and everything you needed to know to be able to do it, in theory. You met with a few other figures there in Yeniseisk. You met the comrade Andrei Volkov, the representative from the party, who is there to oversee this particular expedition to make sure that nothing is done in such a way that would jeopardize the well-being and will of the people. You also met with Antonin Lebedev, the ranger who is accompanying you on this expedition, who seems to be very, very capable of surviving in this wilderness, despite the fact that he doesn't speak any English whatsoever. So that is a slight issue. So there's going to be potentially some issues there as far as communication. Briefly, Father Colm, you went to meet with Major Tichy Sokolov, who was brusque, a bit resistant to helping you, and ultimately, though, did admit some willingness to do what he could for you, but that seemed to not really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Again, any efforts to try to gain information about the last survivor of the prior expedition, Alexei Korolev, the lone survivor in the psychiatric ward. Any efforts to really uncover the final transcripts have gone nowhere, except for the person who just went and got them. Sophie, you went and just did a little digging and found what you could on the subject. Share that information with the party, who is also doing really, really well at target practice. My God, you guys are all, ace in the hole, perfect shots. With that, I believe you guys were prepared to go out after a brief meeting with the mechanic to discuss the jets and everything, or the planes, to make sure that the engines were in shape, which was probably good that you did, because the planes themselves seemed to survive the flight, even though there was a really treacherous point in which everything stalled out as you approached Tunguska, and these waves of light and energy seem to pass through and leaving you all with this strange feeling. Not sure what in the hell it was. Almost like an aurora that lit the entire world in waves. Hearing also this sound akin to the screeching cry of an orca in distress, um, rattling through the cargo hold of the plane. Each of you ejected as there was just not enough time, and the plane was stalling out. It was too much risk to wait any longer. You, sorry. After that, some of you were a bit more prepared for jumping out of the plane than others, or kind of rushed it. In the end, most of you landed fairly well in control of where you wanted to be. Yeah, Joe, you're Lance Corporal. I can't recall. I'm sorry, his first name. I just keep saying Lance Corporal because I can't remember.
Lester Green.
Thank you. Yeah. So Lester ended up pulling his chute a little bit too early.
Too early.
And,
So I'm
yeah.
still I'm still coming down, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well, everyone else has landed. You're still coming down, but you have a bit of a view,
Right.
of the surrounding area. But with that, it's getting quite cold. Meanwhile, Shotsworth, you pulled your chute a little too late.
I pulled it right on time. It was a gust of wind.
It was the earth that was moving too quick.
Yes.
Yeah. That landed you in some trees with a bit of some scrapes and abrasions, but a bit roughed up for sure, but not too worried. That is until you see this figure who is now standing in front of you, a rifle pointed at you. Stoleto, he says.
Huh?
Stoleto.
Huh?
Stoleto.
Kid, down. 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 Down.
He kind of looks and everything, sizes up the situation, and goes and starts to, back away, looking for a bit of brush, and then seems to hide. You hear of him speaking to another figure that remains obscured.
What was he speaking? Was that German or Russian?
You can make an education check.
Yeah, I can. All right. First dice roll of the night. Here we go. Where are my dice?
No pressure.
Yeah. That would be a 70 on 81.
Okay. It was Russian. What you can gather is it's the fact that he didn't shoot you that suggests that he doesn't necessarily have any quarrel, but also that he's not sure what the hell this means and if there's other people coming. You're not sure the fact that he seems to be hiding is that he's lying in ambush, or if he's just waiting to see if other people come for you. But he's hesitant to try to help you at this point, it seems. What does he do? Cut you down from the tree? Or does he shoot you first and then get you down? He's not sure.
How high up am I from the ground?
From the ground, you're probably about a good 25 feet. It's enough that you fall from this height, you're going to break your legs.
Okay, so you're saying don't do the plan I just devised in my head.
Yeah, don't do that.
You can certainly try.
Okay, I'm just dangling here from a tree. It's cold. I need help.
Right. Sophie,
Let me down, will you?
You get a sense that just about everyone has landed, except for Lester. And you're not quite sure when you landed where Shotsworth wound up.
I thought we heard him yelling.
Well, in this clearing, if he's yelling, then you're hearing him.
Yeah, I was running in his direction.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yep. You were running that way. You're right.
All right.
Is the moon out? Is the moon lighting the sky? Is it a dark night?
No, it's a dark night. I mean, you have starlight and a bit of the aurora, but otherwise, it's fairly dark.
But this wave thing is totally past us. The thing
Yes.
that hit the plane, that's totally gone, right?
Yeah.
And to be clear, I've stopped yelling at this point now that I saw this dude with a gun, because I don't want to put any of my comrades in danger.
All right. So, sorry, 1 second. All right.
Would you say I know the word for friend in Russian based on that education roll?
Yeah, you can.
Friend.
What is
Whatever the word is. Friend. Friend.
Droga.
Yes,
I can't
droga.
remember exactly,
Droga.
but Droga. He looks at you.
Friend.
Да. Я не знаю. Нет.
Moscow. Friend.
Moscow. Не, Москве, нет. Москве, friend. Нет. Just kind of, hunkers back down and whispers something. And then you see a small figure dart out among the brush. Runs off towards east, west. You don't know what the direction is right now. The strap has actually got you kind of spinning a little bit. It's like you're trying to move in the branches and adjusting your
Friend.
balance, and it's just
Friend. Friend. Yeah.
Now that he stopped yelling, I'm going to slow down and pay a little more attention.
Okay. Do me a favor, do a listen check to see, based on that, you're kind of, I guess, like how good you heard where it was coming from, whether you're following an echo or following what you originally heard.
Oh. Oh, crap. I got 100.
Ooh.
I didn't hear nothing.
I don't think
In any other game, that'd be perfect.
No.
Yeah.
So it was like a 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yep.
So I don't think that we do it that way in this. I think we treat
Yeah.
that as a perfect success. So not only do you, in this, at least house rules, because it's shitty to roll 100 and all that. If you roll a 99, you're fucked.
Yeah, but
Right.
shouldn't 100 be some sort of critical failure?
I think
I think it is supposed to be a critical failure
is
or
it?
something.
Yeah, the worst possible thing to
Yeah.
happen.
Teacher, you forgot to check our homework.
I think we should do it that way. I know.
I
I think we
agree.
house rolled it like 5 years ago. That 100s were like perfect. I think it
Because
should be
that
a
would just
critical
be a
failure.
1 should be perfect.
Yeah.
I opened the gates. Here comes Cthulhu.
Let's find
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A roll of 1 is always
was a very
success.
short
A
game. We're all
roll of
dead.
100 is always a failure.
Always a
Always
failure.
a failure.
I'm walking into an ambush.
You hear something and you go off running.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh. What's he running after?
Meanwhile, Lester,
Yeah.
what are you doing while you're up here?
Well, did we have some sort of... We just jumped out of the plane. How are we coordinating, like, where we landed?
Given that it was kind of rushed.
Yeah, so it was just kind of... So I guess I'm going to try to land... I need some sort of visual cue, and I would think the only visual cue I would have would be his tent, or his parachute that's caught in the trees. The doctor's.
Yeah, so you can see
Shot
that.
swerves.
Let's
Can I see that?
You know what? Do a spot hidden, because you're looking for a parachute in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it is nighttime.
Yeah, so it's got to be a spot hidden.
There's also a lot of snow, right? So
Yeah, there's snow, so you're looking for...
I have a 55 in that. So let's see. I put a little bit of juice into that.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5.
Oh,
nice.
ooh. You can see exactly where there is a parachute in the trees, and with a 5, I'd say you can also see a spot in a nearby field with traces of what looks like the lines in the snow where
Where like everybody else was.
yeah, and you can see what looks to be Sarge running off in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Granted, he's probably about a good 2,500 3,000 feet below, so he ain't gonna hear you.
Right.
But you
Right.
can see him.
Okay.
so
I
you
want to
can
try
choose
to
land.
land into the clearing, I guess, because that's probably the best place to land.
Yep. All right, so you try to steer your shoot a little bit
Yeah,
to
I'm on the thing like.
kind of like doing circles around to try and
Yeah.
going back and then going forward.
Yeah.
Do I
Okay.
see Lance Corporal? Do I see Lester?
Make a spot hidden check to see if you're. I mean, yeah, like you're right now. You don't see anything, but we'll say that a spot hidden might help you.
Spot hidden. That would be a 40 on 60. 40 on 60.
Okay. Looking around, you're looking up, and you do see at least one more circle floating up above in the sky.
Would you say I have a flashlight on me?
Yeah, you
tell
should
me.
have like a flashlight, flares, and other simple provisions like that. Yeah.
So I ponder for a minute if I should bust out, like for a quick split second, I have to make a decision here. Should I bust out my flashlight and try to grab whoever this figure is that's still coming down by parachute, their attention with my flashlight? But I also risk putting them in harm if this guy is not a friendly. Maybe he won't notice if I'm pointing it directly up the sky. I pull out my flashlight and I just flash it towards where you are, Lance Corporal. Try to grab your
Okay.
attention.
Okay.
So you see, yeah, I guess you see.
Yeah, I guess I see the
opening and the
pulse of light. Yeah, I mean, is that just an area of forest? Like I wouldn't be able to like really land in that area?
You can find places in the clearing adjacent that are safe to land. You could try to
Okay.
go directly to the forest. Doing so is high risk, I would say.
That's gonna be hard, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guess I want to try to find the closest place to the light source that I just
Yeah.
saw.
Okay. Yeah, based on that, I would say that it would probably be on the southeastern side of the clearing. Put you right next to that bit of forest.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I want to land.
Okay. All right. Sarge, you're chasing, and you know what you heard. The baleful, high-pitched whine of Shotsworth, bitching and moaning about stuff that already is going to shit, as expected. But they brought you here for a reason, so you're going off to chase it.
There we go.
Yeah. You go into the woods, far off to the southwest of the clearing, where you can see there is, just a thick growth of pines and a knocked over log, probably real old forest. And you try to mount over it. You're certain that you hear something rustling on the other side.
All right. With my Tommy gun at the ready, kind of try to find a vantage point where I can look over the side of it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
.46 of 75.
You are a ghost in the night. You climb over the log slowly. With that Tommy gun, you ain't gonna be much of a ghost in the night. You peer over. You don't see Shotsworth. You don't see footprints or anything. There's a small hill going down. Looks to be covered in pine needles, leaves, detritus. Otherwise,
nothing there.
or make a spot hidden check.
That would be a. Let's see. Where'd it go? Spot hidden. That is a 12 of 75. So was that extreme success?
Yeah. Movement. Far off down the hill. You see it. Something brown and moving in the dark. Is it crawling?
Two-legged?
It's Shotsworth. Is it hurt? Big.
Two-legged or four-legged?
It's too dark to see from here without a flashlight. But you saw movement. You hear
All
it.
right.
It's a rustling in the leaves.
Creep in its direction. See if I can get a better look at it.
You hear it grunting.
Does it sound like a human grunt or an animal grunt?
Knowing what you do of Shotsworth over the past week or two, hard to say.
Hey,
Just-
I'm not even there to defend myself.
Creep closer till I can definitively tell what it is.
You approach quietly. Well, do one more. At this point, do a hard stealth check.
What does that mean? The hard.
So you had to roll half of your
Is that-
normal success rate.
Yeah, that middle
Gotcha.
number.
Nope. 82.
Okay.
Not even close.
With that, the brown shape turns, and you see it charging towards you. You can make out a glimpse of eyes, that sort of reflective light coming off of them. What do you do?
Yep. That sounds like a bear. I'm turning around and running the other direction.
All right.
Big bitches, big bitches, big
All right, it's charging towards you. I need you to make a dex check to see if you can get away from this thing.
Well, is it close enough to, like, how close is it?
It's charging, probably about a
Okay.
good 30 feet away and charging towards you.
Very
Got
close.
you. All right, I will probably not be running away then. All right, where's dodge?
Is anyone nearby that would see this happening?
No one said they were going with him. You guys, as far as I know, are still back in the clearing.
Did we all land relatively close to each
Yeah,
other?
you all landed close enough together that you were able to group up in the clearing, I'd say.
Yeah.
With the exception of Lester, who's still you're waiting for. No sign
Alright.
of. And with Shotsworth, you're not sure where, but Sarge went charging off into the woods, seemed to know where he was doing.
I rolled an 80 out of 75. I think I will spend the luck to fix that.
Okay.
All right.
Remember the poem for bears. If it's black, attack. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, good night.
Right.
Never heard that one.
All right. So I just succeeded.
Nice. All right. A good thing too, as you roll just out of the way, just in time, as this wild boar charges, and its tusks barely miss your thigh as you roll out of the way. It wheels back around. It's trying to, present itself as big as possible. Putting it aside to you, but also making very aggressive movements. What do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna shoot it.
All right,
Let's see.
go ahead. Yep. That'd be a rifle for the.
Submachine gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like it would still be fall under a rifle check as opposed to a pistol for Cthulhu.
Well, no, it's submachine gun has its own category.
Have its own. Okay, yeah, for firearms, handgun. That. Okay, cool. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so 52 of 75.
Yep. You light it up, and then shortly enough, I'd say you don't even have to necessarily. For this, we'll keep it simple. Yeah, the pig falls down dead.
Nice.
All right.
I found dinner.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna
How do
sling
orcs
it
know what
over.
a menu is?
I'm gonna sling it over my shoulder, and I guess I'm gonna start heading back because I don't hear the guy.
The rest of you hear this scuffle and then immediately see the flashing white of gunfire barking in the trees where Sarge just went running off to. What are you doing?
Father O'Connor will kind of his hand will go to his Colt as he sees the gunfire and kind of brace and see what's about to come if he needs to draw it. In his other hand, he's holding his hand is like his rosary is wrapped around his knuckle as he whispers a prayer to kind of like, please let this be good. He kind of takes a step forward to kind of taking a kind of a protective stance to the rest of everyone as they're getting their gear all squared away after the landing, and he'll just wait and see what comes out, whether it's Germans or animals or what.
Billy, what are you doing?
Billy is still tangled in her parachute, trying to she's just given up on trying to unknot it, and she pulled out her knife, and she's just, cursing at herself. And
Yep. Like a toddler with a sweater that's just a few sizes too small. You're trying to get this damn thing off, and it's just cut it out. Yep. Strap, cut, done. Lester, you are in the air when you hear the shots get fired.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah. What's your reaction there?
I mean, my reaction is I want to find the closest, safest place to land, and then I want to book
All right.
once I safely, unhook, make
That's
to that
coming up.
direction.
All right.
Because that's got to be Sarge, like,
yeah.
as far as firing a weapon, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Or
he went off towards
that
the southwest.
specific weapon fire,
Yep. All right. So you start to wheel towards the southwest then instead.
Yeah.
Get towards there. All right.
Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry. That flashlight that I saw, because I don't know who that was. I just saw the signal light, but sorry.
The hell.
Yeah. The stranger in the tree in the bushes, gun still pointed at you. Kind of looks up. Drub. Scoffs.
Anybody know what Doc is? And Lesta and Javi?
So can I do a spot hidden to see if I notice the flashlight go off? Because I was looking at the sky looking for Lester.
Yeah, you can make spot hidden.
Okay, that's a 16 on something.
On spot hidden.
On 50.
That should. I mean that should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the
16
direction.
out of
It's just to the east of you. You can see there is a bit of woods, and you can see where the flashlight was, trailing through the trees.
Right. Well, Sarge ran that way,
Opposite
and
direction.
the light was this way. One shot, no screaming, probably okay. And we know it's Sarge, so you guys can either stay here or go after Sarge. I'm going to go towards that light because, yeah, I'm going to try that.
Well, if I know anything, it's we probably shouldn't split up. So I'll go with you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Definitely best not to split the party, as it were. Let's head towards that light and see we can find our remaining friends.
Lester, you're at the point of touching down. Just I don't think it's going to require much as far as at this point you're in enough control, but you're freezing cold.
Okay.
Definitely
Okay.
shaking as you come down.
Okay.
You were up there for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you get down, you make your landing, taking off towards the woods where Sarge was. Your parachute is still on the back as you touch down on the powder, the snow. Yeah, you make an effort and free yourself of the parachute. What do you do?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I just try to get my bearings and figure out the direction that those shots were fired. I do. Yeah. Do I have any sort of flare or anything like that? Would I have
Yeah.
anything like that?
Let's just say, like, as far as your basic provisions that you guys have for this expedition, because you were definitely outfitted with things. I think
With
included
stuff,
in your
right?
pack
Yeah.
would be, I'd say each of you have 2 flares that can be used to attract attention or to ignite things.
Okay.
You have
Now you tell me.
you have probably about 2 weeks worth of provisions, like
Okay.
between MREs or the equivalent of it, right?
Yeah.
You have some some general purpose like utility knife for making kindling, things like that. But otherwise,
I would have a compass,
yeah,
right?
just
So
general orienteering and
yeah.
things like that.
So I'm gonna light a flare first,
Okay,
and this is just like kind of like a flare I would throw on the ground as opposed
Yep.
to like a shoot up in the.
yeah,
Right. So I light the flare. Yeah, I just throw it down, where I landed, just to try to attract the rest of the party, I guess, because I'm totally isolated.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna check my compass and just orient myself to where I saw heard the shots. But I would maybe with the shots, would I see a little, like spark from the gunfire, or I just heard them?
Probably.
You would have seen like a flash, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I want to orient myself with my compass, and then head the direction of that.
All right, it's dark as shit. Once you have the flare up, you can see the compass. But yeah, the rest of you see this immediately, this bright red light from behind you, back in the clearing. It illuminates a good bit of the woods around you. You can see a lot of the shapes, including what looks to be a tangled mass that doesn't look like the rest of the branches. It's pretty clear to see Shotsworth wrapped up in wrapped up in the
legs
in the
just
lens.
dangling like a child at a high chair. Yeah.
Yep.
I signal to the other 2 with me that we should probably try to be a little bit on the quiet side, because if he stops screaming, that means there's somebody there or something there that has caused him to stop screaming. So in my head, either he doesn't need help anymore, or he still needs help very much.
All right.
I don't want to walk into an ambush.
All right. Stealth checks all around for anyone approaching Shotsworth. Meanwhile, Lester, your flare lit. Sarge, you see there's this bright light back towards the clearing.
All right, I'm heading that direction.
All right. Dragging a
My
pig
board.
behind you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Soon enough, you see Lester looking around, kind of like, where is everybody? And then you, what do you do?
I had a 69. Wait, never mind.
I got a 30 on a 20 for my stealth.
I failed 75 out of 20.
Okay. I'll say this. As you're saying,
I passed.
probably stop screaming because he worried about an ambush.
What? What?
At that point, you feel a barrel at the back, the small of your back.
Oh.
Julie did pass though, just to be clear.
Yeah, I
I
did.
don't know if you heard that.
No,
Two, there's one pass.
2 out of 3. Yeah,
2 out of 3.
the company you keep. It's all good.
Right.
You hear a small voice. Move it. In Russian.
Is it at the back of her back or back of?
It's at
whose?
Billy's back.
At Billy's back.
I just put my hands up like I've seen in the movies, and I just start moving forward. And
You-
I don't understand what she's saying, but this voice,
Yeah.
what they're saying, but yeah, seems pretty obvious.
What's wrong with you? Don't you understand? Move it, she says, again in Russian.
Yeah,
So
I'm.
I do
yeah.
hear
Mhm.
and understand the Russian. How close are they to me?
I'd say it's behind. The voice is behind you. Probably about how far apart were you guys standing?
I'd
Probably
say
like
probably
within
like
10.
5-10 feet.
Yeah, it's like you'll say you're scattered through the woods, walking together, but like following up along the same path, and yeah, so she's probably about a good 10 feet or so behind you, but with a gun uh, pressed to Billy's back.
Can I try to do a stealth check and disappear behind a tree and then sneak up behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going on a hike, camping.
So that would be
Sure.
an 11 on 75.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, you hear this situation coming, and you sneak off behind the tree, and you're starting to work towards flanking. Что? And then you hear this kid's voice saying, "What are you saying? I don't understand you."
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't speak that.
What earth are you doing here? You don't speak that. This is. Who are you people?
Is that in
Start
English?
moving. Start moving. No, again, she's. This.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
just
you were
saying
saying
in
Billy's
Russian.
voice was the child's voice. Okay.
No, you hear a child's voice, like a kid. But yeah, you feel the barrel push you, like nudge you forward towards where
Like,
Shotsworth is.
I'm going.
All right. Kind of like nods towards you too, Father.
He's just kind of doing the same thing that Billy's doing. Just like, well, you caught me, Yank.
Leading you forward, and there's a moment. You have just a moment, Sophie, as she's passing by a tree with you in her blind spot.
Okay, I'm going to take that moment. And I'm going to try to disarm.
Slit her throat.
Okay. Ballsy. Okay, let's see how it goes. Oh God.
I mean, I did have a lot of brothers and a father that raised me without the mother, so hopefully they taught me a few things.
Let me see what that would be for disarming. There's a thing for that. Hold
Well,
on.
it's an odd 7.
Hey, there's sleight of hand.
Yeah, I'd say all right with a 7.
Would it be that, or would I be able to use brawl?
No, yeah, like I think a 7 was gonna work for that. So yeah, either way, I think that's a success because I didn't call out hard or anything like that. And for sleight of hand would be even lower as a base stat. And yeah, so you very quickly snatch out this rifle away just in time as it goes off, and you now see this frightened-looking, probably 9, maybe 11 at most. This little girl. You can see, like, yeah, she just has this kind of terrified look. She holds
Like,
up
where did
these,
she come from?
yeah, holds up these like leather mittens. They look like handmade and everything. And
With the weapon now safely secured, I reach out to her and I say, "This weapon is far too big for you. I'm sure we can find a much more suitable
in that
accessory for you. But where shall we go next?" I'm speaking to her in Russian.
yeah,
Where were we headed?
Who are you people?
Friends from Moscow.
You don't have friends in Moscow.
That's what I tried to tell him.
Well, friends can be a generalized term.
We
Acquaintances? Where's your mother? Where's your father? Who are you out here with? Let's go see them.
She has this really hurt, angered looking expression on her face at these questions. And with that, you see another figure step out from the bushes behind, one that you'd not noticed before. That's quite enough. You let her go right now. Shoot.
I look at him, raising one hand. She's never been detained. Simply disarmed.
Who are you?
We are here on a government mission. It's quite sensitive, I'm sorry. Can't really explain.
Which government?
From Moscow. I honestly think they didn't want any more Russians to die, so they outsourced.
Moscow's sending Americans. What the hell is this world?
Not just
come to?
Americans, but yes. They value our lives less than yours.
You have no
Russian
idea how little they
lives.
value our lives. And then he seems to lower his rifle a bit. Your friend needs to be cut down.
Indeed.
You hear about the others? The
Yes.
Germans.
Yes. They are not friends.
Enemy of my enemy.
Indeed. I look at the girl. Careful where you point this young one. I hand it back the rifle.
Snatches it from your hand. Just gives this, again, bitter, anger look. Doesn't
You're still
say thank
young.
you.
I'm sure by the time you're my age,
Sorry, 1 second.
I wouldn't have a chance against you.
Can you hear me?
We lost him.
Uh-oh.
I think his headphones aren't working.
I think they're working now.
Oh.
You hear me?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
much better. Yeah, she doesn't say thank you and just snatches the little varmint rifle out of your hands.
Give it 5-10 years, dear child. By the time you're my age, I won't stand a chance to disarm you. I look up at Doc. Tis, you should have been paying more attention. Trees are not where we were supposed to land.
It was the wind. It was a gust, a strong gust of wind.
Master the wind. Make it your friend.
That's what I always say.
Billy's just getting us all out of her backpack.
Oh, wait, did you say?
Kind of fucking Bugs Bunny. You shit his
That
this.
will make for a tough landing if you come down the tree.
Get a better idea?
How about I climb the tree?
I picture Billy like comically pulling out like a really long saw from a small backpack. Like,
Picture,
I
picture
could
the
climb
thing
the
in like
tree, and maybe he doesn't break all of the bones in his body just because the tree landed.
the thing in Wile E. Coyote where he just like starts like cutting away the cliffside, and then it's still floating, and the mountain falls, and then he looks down, and the cliff falls.
yeah.
One of those giant 2-person saws.
So Billy looks up
His
at the
magician's bag keeps on going. Oh, yeah.
Billy looks up at the ropes that are holding Doc. What's your name again, Mike?
My Dr. Sigmund Shotsworth.
Okay. She looks up at Shotsworth and tries to figure out if there's a way to like cut a few of the ropes to see if it can kind of like make it where the parachute droops down longer without,
Yeah,
I-
make a lumberjack check.
I apparently have a knife as well. I just discovered about 10 minutes ago
well, why
Hold
haven't you
that
been
thought,
using
Doc.
it?
because the DM didn't
Hold
tell
that
me.
thought, Doc. Let the mechanically inclined one think this through so
Yeah.
you don't break your legs.
So can I kind of
'Cause I'm
figure?
not carrying you.
Yeah, I'll say make an intelligence check.
Uh, 44 out of 85.
Okay. Yeah, you can see you can see where the branch that he's on, and you can try your best to cut it, but a safer approach might be to use some rope and to make sure it's secure to him and then gradually lower him. So there's different options. You could the best bet would probably be to toss some rope to him. Have it hoisted over a strong limb that you can see from where you're sizing up the tree, and then to have him cut the parachute, lines, and then use the rope itself to slowly be lowered down. That's the safest approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I pull out the. Sorry, I have a lot because I'm a mechanic, so I do have rope too. I
You pull out like an engine block.
Like, oh my god, a number 34, 18.7 screwdriver. God, I've been looking for this.
So I think the best thing we need to, the best thing we should do, we'll throw this rope, get it kind of above him, maybe the branch above him, and then Shotsworth, you got to tie that to you, and then just start cutting the other ropes. But don't cut the rope that we're passing over.
That's
'Cause that-
no problem.
Only cut the parachute cord, not the rope.
Got it. Cut the.
And-
Now,
Cut the
now,
rope.
re-
Cut
now
the
repeat
rope.
that back to us, please.
Yeah.
What
I'll
are you
cut-
tying around you?
I'm going
Don't
to cut
put
the
it-
ropes.
Don't put the rope
me,
around
look
your
at me.
neck, though.
Look at me. Look at me. Eyes. What are you tying around you?
The rope.
And what are you cutting?
The ropes. Oh, okay. I'm cutting the parachute.
Thank you. Okay, now we can proceed.
Any chance we've caught up to them by now?
Yeah, I'd say that. Well, yeah. So like, I was just saying, they just go like, Lester and Sarge. You hear a thud from far away.
You're supposed to tie that knot a little tighter, dear.
No, you guys are you catch up. Lester, Sarge approaches you with a boar in tow. Looks like somebody's already made their first kill. So
Yeah.
we'll say that you guys with the flare and everything and the pig, you start following towards where you hear what sounds like a bit of an altercation in the woods.
Okay.
And then soon enough come trailing behind to find that they've encountered some of the locals and are now trying to work out how to get Shotsworth down.
Should we come in hot, Sarge, or are we coming in? How are we coming in?
Well, being that it sounds like they're speaking Russian, I think we'll probably be okay.
Okay. All right. Right, not German. Okay.
Correct.
Where's our Russian guide?
Yeah,
Yes,
what happened to
that.
that dude?
Still looking to regroup.
Did.
With a flare, I'd say, yeah, Lebedev and Volkov start, coming up.
And probably shaking their head like, seriously, gunshots and flares already. Oh my
So,
god.
yeah, they landed a bit
You
farther
gotta
to
be
a bit farther to the northwest up the mountain slope. So they're it was a little bit of a haul for them to find you guys and then to
So
catch up.
So
with Flair.
Father O'Connor will kind of like take his try and see if he can spot where those two are coming from and try and like signal them, doing quick bursts of the flashlight and the last direction he saw them landing in the parachute. Try to see if he can be a
guiding light.
Guiding light to bring them in. Lighthouse. That was the thing I was trying to a quick lighthouse and just so that's what Father O'Connor is doing to try and get us all back together.
All right. So yeah, I'd say that you're able to guide a clear beacon to to Sarge and Lester, to Lebedev, and to Volkov, who all come, the entire party reunited. Yeah, Lester's shaking a bit. You're all cold, certainly, but Lester looks to be kind of like huddling up a bit more. That rifle barrel in your hands, everything is biting to the touch.
I don't admit it though. I'm not
No,
looking.
no.
No, I'm holding myself together. I'm a Marine, dude.
Yep. You're fighting it.
Do some jumping jacks, Lance Corporal. You'll warm up in no time.
Yeah. I'm like, yes, sir.
2, 3, 4. Yep. Love. Ring. Cord. And yeah, you
I know.
you soon enough hear Volkov say, which one of you lit flare? It's a horrible idea. We do not know if enemies are in what numbers.
I'm
Which
sorry.
one
I heard. I lit the flare. I heard gunfire. We totally all got separated.
You've exposed our position, and then at this, you see Lebedev kind of like grab him by the shoulder, say, "Yeah," and they seem to have like a slightly heated confrontation, kind of off to the side.
What can I hear?
Make a listen check to see how much you can hear as they tried. Lebedev kind of pulled him aside.
Can you do a listen if you don't know the language?
She does.
She does though.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, for Father O'Connor, because
you can always try to do a listen, right? You might pick up, because that's the thing. You might pick up a specific word that doesn't sound like, in Verizon Wireless, you never know. You might hear something.
Well, my
75 on 75.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it meets a
So
beat.
barely.
Nowhere close on my.
They're definitely wary of being overheard in this, but Lebedev does pull him aside and say, if we're a lot better in all together. I think you are being far too hostile. We need to keep morale high. We do not know what is up against us, and you need to cut this shit out. Volkov kind of nods, and you hear him start to say something to the effect of, when I get back, I will include all of this in the report. You'll be lucky to be shoveling shit in fucking frozen tundra. He spits.
It reminds me of the conversation at Kill Bill between Tori Hanzo and the cook about get the sake and tea and.
I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years.
It's been a while.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah. Certain things are burned in my head. They got in the ball and chain with the thing, and
because they're all speaking in Japanese, but then he breaks and says it in English, just like, "Shut up, get your ass out here."
So you overhear that. Soon enough, Volkov kind of just adjusts his coat and everything, and then with a glare and everything back, Lebedev kind of nods towards you, Lester, with a look of appreciation almost. And then from there on, Shotsworth, let's get you down from that tree. Do me a favor and roll a how good am I at tying knots?
What am I doing?
You're trying to see how well you secure that
rope around
your belly.
Yeah, but they gave you the rope and you got to tie it to yourself.
Oh yeah.
We just
Cut
have
the
to
rope,
hold
that's
it
right.
to make sure
Cut
we
the
don't
rope.
drop you.
Yep. So, what would that be?
Not
Not-
tying.
Not
Survival.
tying.
Is that a thing? Not tying? Survival.
No.
I would
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
that under survival.
I would say survival. Yeah.
No.
Right now,
No.
is there a
I might, you know,
crafting?
I might put it under. I might put it under education, or you can make
We'll
an
put it
argument.
under
for it to be
arts and
something else.
crafts.
That's
Yeah.
true. Arts and crafts. is probably-
You gotta
Can I do
scale.
survival instead?
It's like, yes, years of making doilies and doing macrame has paid off. Finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
am invincible.
I'll do survival. All
I
right.
think survival is the way to go.
Thank you, Aunt Sharon. All right. No, survival. Okay, survival. Go ahead.
That will be a 30 on 10.
All right.
What? Wait, your survival's only 10?
Yep.
All right. Let's
Cool.
I'm not an
That's the bait.
outdoorsman. I call Remingtons Remertons.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
right.
look that. You know what you're doing. 'Cause you got a PhD in physics. These bunch of assholes telling you you are not around here. So just make sure
I
you
am
cut the
not.
ropes and not the rope. Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm gonna
amateurs
take
and-
a blanket out of my pack. Everybody grab a corner. Try to sit underneath them and hold
All right.
really tight.
Okay, who's holding the ropes? Who's holding the
I'm-
blanket?
I'm holding the rope.
Well, I'm holding the blanket.
All right,
Connor,
blanket. Blanket.
Connor's
Well, if
holding the
we
rope.
got the rope okay, do you think we need two of us holding the rope, or
We
Four
need
hands on the
4
blanket.
people holding the blanket for sure.
Unless it's a triangle shaped blanket.
Oh my
I'm
god.
pretty strong. I'm, mechanic.
All right.
Father
Triangle
Connor will
shaped
assist
blanket.
on the rope.
Lebedev gets the other corner. Volkov goes to go speak with the hunter and his the young girl. And then
Yeah.
Shotsworth, you are cutting parachute wires, right? Yeah.
Cut the rope. Cut the rope, she said. Cut the rope. Okay. Cut the rope. All right.
Yep.
What happens?
And make sure you check oh, too late.
You start to see, you're cut free, and then snap, snap, snap. You feel like the tension growing, and you feel that it's fine. You can feel that it's pulling now more on the rope than the other thing.
It's working. It's
And
working.
then you feel the rope start to shimmy up your torso until it's like got you like this. Your legs start swinging.
Yeah.
You start swinging, and then you start to slip. Probably a good 10 feet off the ground. You are free falling. Strength check from those holding the blanket.
yeah,
Oh yes,
Yeah.
18.
25.
Oh, I was 1 point away from an extreme success.
87 out of 80.
Okay.
And who was the fourth person? Who else was holding it?
Lebedev.
All right,
Lebedev.
I gotta roll.
Okay.
Shit.
Very critical corner there.
The DM gets to play too.
How do you want to do this, Matthew? All right. Yeah, he's
Lebedev
fine.
lets go of the.
All right. In a fantastic team effort, you finally get the man down from the tree. It's like the whole fire brigade, like with a cat. Yeah. And with that, the party is fully reunited.
Doesn't make
So-
cat sounds when he lands.
Yeah, Shotsworth, you feel yourself tumbling down, free of the rope that last second as you fall. Your head kind of cradled. The only part of the blanket that slips is out by Lester's side, but fortunately enough, that's where your feet were. You land just fine.
I kind of roll off the blanket into the ground,
Yeah.
push myself off the ground, like do the Picard, like adjust my jacket, dust myself off. Ugh. The wind out here is just terrible. I'm sorry, I would have landed directly with you all, but it's just right into the trees. Cross draft, if you will.
Sure.
I look around, like all your faces are just looking at me like blank. Like annoyed you had to rescue me.
I look at him and I laugh. I go, "Oh, bless your heart."
Meanwhile,
Putting on my best Southern accent, even though it's nowhere near a good Southern accent.
meanwhile, Volkov, you overhear him. Your assistance in this is greatly appreciated by Mother One, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that your discretion is maintained. Yes? And the hunter kind of just want to go about our ways.
I'm going to break the tusks off of the boar, and then I'm going to drag the boar over to the hunter and just kind of like drop it in front of him and motion that
Yep.
it's theirs.
Looks at it. Tracking that for 2 weeks.
You're welcome.
Kind of a nod of appreciation, Takes the boar and hoists it over his shoulder. Come, let's get out of this cold cabin over the next ridge. Is a little walk, probably a mile. Come. Starts leading you for your first walk across Siberian wilderness. This particular stretch is dense forest. You can tell that it's land that's been well hunted. Some of you might notice a little snare trap here and there. The little girl with him runs off at one or two spots to go and check them. And you just hear her call back, "No rabbits!" And then he says, "Shh, tomorrow." Then she comes back and starts asking him questions excitedly about how what to do with the boar and whether they should make soup or whether they should make roast, or do they really have to share with all these people doing all the work for weeks trying to get that boar? Why do they get to just come in and then they saw it from the air? Of course they got it. And then saying like, is everything with the war going so bad that they're sending people to hunt for food by airplane? God, and just complaining. And he says, "Shh, you talk too much. You frighten away all the deer for an entire year." She shoves him, he shoves her back. They smile. And then he says, "Just up over here."
Is this still all in Russian or any of it in English?
It's all in Russian. You can kind of see like it transcends language. You can still hear like the excitement in her voice at checking the traps and the that sound of complaining that everyone knows the sound of a kid complaining about dinner. And yeah, you get to a point in the woods where you can, even in the dark, you can tell, especially with the light of the flare, it starts to go from true wilderness into a point where you definitely reach a trail atop a ridge, and from there leads you where it widens more and more until it winds towards a small but modest but well maintained hunter's shack, a cabin with natural cedar roofing and a stone chimney. Leads you in, sets the boar on a wooden table on the porch outside, and just bids you all in. From there, the girl gets some firewood from outside and loads it up into the fireplace. And soon enough, is able to start up a fire, and each of you feel this almost hunger for the warmth. Just immediately throwing your hands up in front of the fireplace and turn one after another until the room itself finally gets warm in this small cabin, warm enough that you don't feel the need to huddle so closely to it. With that, each of you finds a corner and sits. Some of you on a stool or a bit of a log from outside that brought in to double as extra seating. I'm sorry, usually not prepared for company.
No apologies necessary. Thank you for the opportunity.
Father Connor just kind
Thank you for not shooting us.
of Father Connor does that, he's thankful for being in the warmth and these. Is it father and daughter?
This is my granddaughter, Katya. I'm Vanya Karlov. I'm welcome to my home. We've been here for a long time. Her father and mother went off. Well, were conscripted to fight the father was conscripted to fight in the war. Her mother, well, her mother went to work the camps, and it's been. He kind of like leans in, and looks to you to translate. Sophie, it's been a few months since her passing. We haven't talked about much.
As Sophie translates that, Father Con just does an immediate sign of the cross and just
You Orthodox or Catholic?
Catholic.
Or Protestant? Oh.
It's
well.
not entirely different from the Orthodox, but some similarities and some differences, but it's still the same God.
Well, you know what Orthodox means right teaching, right word, right way. So you might say God, but we're the ones who are correct. Or at least even within the church there is division.
I bless you for taking us in. I know this is a inconvenience to you, and we hope to not pick up too much of your time and resources.
What are you doing here? This Karlov says, "That is not your business. You are lucky that we are not kicking you and your granddaughter out into the cold so that we can just commandeer this jack for." Lebedev just again gives him a cross look. No, I'm well within my rights. There is hardly enough room for us in this hole, and I will. Rather,
I slap him upside the back of the head.
Night. Yeah. Closer together is better. It's a cold night. Closer together is better. I turn and look at the little girl. So I hear that Russia is known for their absolutely beautiful ballet. Did you ever take dance? Did you ever dance?
She kind of looks at you, shakes her head. No, never learned to dance. Hawks and then spits on the floor. Is that? you get the feeling that she's about as redneck of a Russian as you've ever seen. She goes, no, that's more like them Moscow city folk. It's kind of hard to get ballet shoes from getting muddy out here.
I bet she's a hell of a hunter.
When there's mud involved, it's best just to take off the ballet shoes.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I think, didn't Granny do ballet? And then, Vanya kind of smiles. She did. He kind of rocks back in his chair, looking at the fire for a quiet moment.
Do you sing?
What's that?
Do you sing? I'm still talking to the girl.
Oh, the girl?
Mm-hmm.
I do. Although...
Sing us something. Sing us a song. What's your favorite song?
Sing us a song, Matt.
God damn it.
As a little girl.
As a little girl?
Yeah.
Let me look up Russian songs. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Once upon a December. Yeah, that's right. Anastasia.
Careful anymore that we have to go into copyrights.
Yeah.
Shotsworth wipes a tear from his eye. It's beautiful.
She sings a song. And it's a little
While she
pitchy.
starts to
but
sing,
it's cute.
I grab her hand and I make her dance with me. And I'm sure she's probably just like, what in the
Okay.
world is this crazy lady doing?
She does give you a look like, what is this? And make a persuade check for me.
I love these dice.
Yeah, what brand of dice are you rolling tonight, Jules? Because I'm gonna need a set.
So these are actually the very first set of semi-precious dice I ever bought at Gen Con. They are rose quartz mini dice, and they
Oh,
have
wow.
always brought me good luck. And that is a 21 off of 30.
Julie's nickname among our groups is Queen of the Natural 20.
Yeah, I can see why.
My dice like me.
Can we see the
Much
dice?
better
Can you bring it up
Yeah,
to the camera? Can we see it? Rose quartz sounds nice.
If we can get them close enough.
You think
If it
about it,
works,
like rocks in the earth were like formed and little bits of silica, just right for billions of years, just so that they could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
E-dice.
yeah, love it.
These guys, I've got some little jade ones in preparation in case I need these.
Nice.
Like they're
Nice.
not in focus.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you-
opaque, right? Is that opaque mainly?
No, jade. This
Jade.
is not opaque.
It's not
Oh,
opaque.
yeah.
But
Okay,
it's
hard
more-
to tell. But
It's almost more marbleized. I'll have to.
Yeah, can you post those in the chat?
put in the pretty dice.
Yeah, we've got it. So we have a Discord, which if you're looking on the thingy, the doobly-doo should have a link to our Discord where you can check it out. We have a little channel called Pretty Dice where you can see all the exquisite, things that Julie has that keep on bringing her perfect luck in this game. Good God.
You love-
Yeah. Or the other thing about Cthulhu is it's great because your shittiest dice that are dice jail and D&D can become your best things
Best
here.
dice, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it takes a little bit of convincing because she's not sure what's going on, but as she starts singing, there's a moment of warmth and a moment of laughter that she gives in and starts dancing, and you can sense that there's no more feeling of being threatened by each other, and you've dissolved what tension there was. Vanya smiles from the from his chair. Lebedev is off in the corner, and you can see him. He's just like checking his knife and sharpening it a bit, smiling though.
Father Connor will kind of go over to Lebedev. Lebedev, our guide is that.
Yeah, he's the ranger that's used to the Siberian wilderness.
And he'll kind of I don't feel we should wait here much longer. Do we know where exactly we are on the map and where we need to be? Do we have
He's
any
saying this in English or in Russian?
in English?
Я не знаю.
Yeah.
Пожалуйста, по-русски.
Sophie's dancing right now, so we'll have to wait to figure out our next move. You just kind of like holds it back, and it's like, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Да. Okay.
The sergeant has picked a spot in the house where he can keep an eye on as many windows as possible, and then he keeps getting up and looking out the windows from different angles, keeping an eye on whatever may or may not be outside.
Connor will go over. Colm will go over. Is everything clear, Sergeant? Nothing moving out there.
So far, so good.
Do me a favor, make a spot hidden or listen check. I'll let you pick.
Do a spot hidden. I'm way better at that. 7.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's kind of looking out the window for just a glance. You do see something, a small shape, just outside. It almost didn't notice it among all the white, but there's this little tiny gray shape just past the wood pile. You see these little tiny paws sticking out from a cubby. Snout.
Like a rabbit-sized animal or bigger?
Bigger.
Like boar-sized?
Not a boar, but probably looks to be maybe a dog or a wolf.
I'm gonna motion to the hunter. Like point at my eyes and point outside.
So, oh. He opens the door, and you immediately see the thing light up as a husky comes and like doubles into the cabin, does a little circle on the floor, and then sits beside the fire. Does one a big long snouted yawn. Oh, well, normally take little Pieter here with me, but he was a little too tired to come with me on the latest hunt. He's a good dog. You need a good dog.
Everybody needs a dog.
So, you, at this point, Lester, you're finally starting to feel warmth coming back into your limbs and everything.
All right.
That kind of tingly itch around your skin, just starts to go away. But it's still, you just almost feel like you want to just sit there and soak up as much of the heat as possible. Maybe not quite as engaged in the conversations and things,
but even though at least I'm starting to feel a little bit better, so I immediately get up and go to Sarge and ask Sarge if he'd like me to take first watch.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, then I go post up for watch.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything else the rest of you would like to do for this night here in the cabin?
Nope. Now that we have somebody keeping watch, I feel safer.
Good. This at some point, eventually after the dancing, has kind of reached a natural conclusion. One sec.
We lose someone?
Yeah, we lost Pete, I think.
Oh no, Pete.
Yeah, we at least lost his video, so we can give it another minute or so. Yeah, Pete, I don't know if you can hear us.
Nope, I'm here. Sorry. I just taking out my contacts. I just figured that wouldn't look good on the stream.
Gotcha. All good.
No, your eyeballs out on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's spooky Cthulhu.
It's not spooky season or anything.
What was I gonna say? So you find yourselves the dance reaches kind of a natural conclusion, and it gets to a point where you I suppose there's kind of a quiet as little Katya curls up in in her little cot in the corner. Karlov is going to sleep. Lebedev kind of steps outside to at least help get a sense of the perimeter in the area for the first half of your watch. I'm not content to leave you out there alone, Lester. And then there's a point where Vanya kind of looks and leans forward. Say you're here from Moscow. I know that prick won't tell us why you're here. I know you have reasons not to tell me. Are you here for the Nazis or are you here for the other things?
Both. But to be
And they
clear,
all
the
told
Nazis
you.
are not our friends.
What's that?
To be quite clear, the Nazis are not our friends.
Good.
But as far as whatever is going on out there, we really don't know. But that's what we're here to find. We are here to find out. That's the simple version.
Looks over, stares at Karlov for a moment. I was composer, St. Petersburg, many years. We lived very comfortably. We had investments all across Europe, and then the uprising happened, and my son, his wife were in college at the time, studying university, and well, their studies came to be out of favor with the new regime. He was sent to a work camp. My wife, she didn't do ballet. She was mugged in a riot, struck her head, and froze to death in the cold. When they drafted my son, his wife was sent off to work in the camps. Well, I don't know if he will make it back from the front. I won't cut your head. She's a good girl. She's very bright. We came here to get away from the world trampling our lives. It's a simple life, a quiet one, but I do not want first the Germans come, then you from Moscow and the Americans now.
We did not mean to intrude. Honestly, we were off target. We were not ever intended to be this close to.
It's not it.
It was the wind.
Ask if he's ever seen that light thing before.
That's just it. We came here looking for peace. We came here looking for safety. To get away from the kind of people who would, well, be so full of their intellectualist convictions that they would I'm sorry.
No need to apologize.
Priest,
Not been treated well.
your priest friend is from a different church than the ones here. The Orthodox is its many hierarchies and saints, same as yours. But there is a sect. There is a sect here in this part of the world that has splintered from the whole. I fear that what is happening is their doing. I do not know if they are working with these Nazis you come to fight. But
Well,
I know that things have gone quiet in the east. The rumors from the people we have met on the trails. Rumors are not good.
I do want to be clear. While the Nazis are not our friends, we didn't come here to fight them. We want to avoid them as much as we can.
Why are you here?
Well,
Is
we're
it
here
light?
for...
We
were
never
asked-
saw your lights before. This tonight was the most I had seen, except for was it a month ago.
Was
It
there
happened.
another plane?
Yes, there is other Russians come from Moscow. You are more Americans. But you're all I've seen thus far. In passing. You mean to go to stop it? Stop it, yes?
Yes.
I help you. You have a long journey ahead. I can bring you provisions. There is a herd of deer I've been tracking on the to the northeast of here. I can track them, bring you fresh meat, and then you can head off in the morning. Huh?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll head out now. You stay here. We'll have to count you. I should be back by noon. If I'm not, something is wrong, and we should. Oh. We should. I don't know what to do with Katya.
Take care of it.
Don't you worry about Katya. If you do not return, we will take care.
Why are you so scared?
It's a changing world. Anytime the world has changed, it has meant ruining what happiness I've been able to grapple together for myself in this lifetime. I see more changes ahead. And so much of the world is convinced that they are the ones to bring about the right changes. They're the ones to bring about the changes that will bring happiness. And at this, Karlov starts to roll in his bed. Vanya quiets down. You understand.
We do.
I'll be back in the morning. Peter, come on. He gets up, picks up his pack, his rifle, and he and the Husky head out and start tracking towards the northwest, out of the cabin. Or, sorry, northeast. So, with that, yeah, at this point, it's quieted down. If there's anything else you'd like to do, you can certainly do it.
We're
I'm
about to
going-
adopt a little girl, aren't we?
I am
Not
going to
the
go
best.
sit down next to her cot and lean against the wall next to her cot so that I'm right next to her should she wake up and find Grandpa not there.
Oh.
Gonna find a spot near the stove or the fire.
I'm gonna rifle through the cabinets and look for any liquor. No, I'm serious. That's what my
Yeah,
character
spot
would do.
spot hidden check. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, I feel like he would know exactly where the liquor would be. All right.
In this Russian cabin in the forest.
Yeah.
Smell it.
It's always on the right above the pantry. I knew it.
You're right, right.
That is it. That's a 2.
That's a
Ooh.
it is
Told ya,
always on the right
I'm an-
above the pantry.
I'm an
Yeah.
alcoholic. Yeah.
You find
He
it.
could smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find the good stuff.
Mhm.
You
Do-
can
do
smell
I-
the sticky drips on the outside of the bottle.
Do
It
I
would probably be
notice?
some sort of moonshine, right? Sorry.
Do I notice Shotsworth just rummaging through and?
I'm
finding
not
this
trying to be
liquor?
stealthy about it. Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
no, pretty much
looking,
the moment Vanya walks out of the house, all right, he just gets up and starts rifling through stuff.
I'm
Should-
gonna try a persuade check to get him to like seriously. These people have it barely enough in Europe, so gotta do a Catholic priest.
I'll say this. All right, this is going to be contested, but I think I'm trying to think. Yeah, so that would be against your willpower, Shotsworth.
against my
So,
willpower.
I was gonna do the same thing. Could I also help persuade on father's side? Is that a thing?
Which what do I roll? Is it
Power.
PO
It's going to be POW at the top, one of your characteristics.
POW?
Yeah, POW.
Okay. All right. So I'm rolling POW. And if I succeed, do I put it back? How's this going to play out?
If you succeed on this, then yeah. If you get, what we're going to do is, because Cthulhu contested rolls are kind of weird. It's going to be whoever has the lower percentage of their
Okay,
max,
they
right?
win. All right.
So I got a 29 on my persuade.
Out of
49.
okay.
60.
60 out of
60 out of 55.
yeah. So Shotsworth, you reach for the bottle and you have it in hand, and just kind of everyone in the room is looking at you, and you feel there's a lot of judgment, and it's
Mhm.
you're also not sure if there are going to be Nazis coming and kicking down the door. You never know. But
Yeah. So at first,
God
I feel
damn it.
like I feel that immediate like guilt, but also anger at the same time. Like guilty, but angry at everybody else. Like you might feel like an intervention or something. And I think I have my hand on the bottle, and I slowly like instead of pulling it down, I just push it back further into the cabinet and close the door. Kind of scowl as I turn around and go lay down on the cot or on the floor. I don't think there's like 10 cots in here, right?
Yeah,
I don't
you
talk
rush
to
in.
anybody. I haven't gone to sleep without a few drinks in me in quite a while, so I'm just trying to go to sleep.
You can certainly try. Of course, without that nightcap that's there staring at you and you staring back at it, and as everyone else tucks in for the night. So you have a hard time as it is looking back at you. Almost very much like one of those early Twilight Zone things, right? Yeah, you're just looking at it and you can picture like all the cliches, the superimposed bottles just like flashing past you in black and white, and you're sweating. Oh god, bad acting. All of it. That's kind of what passes for sleep for you. For the remainder of the night.
I have a hard time falling asleep. I wait till everybody else is asleep, and I make my way back over to the cabinet.
Self check.
Oh god damn! What was that? 96 and 20.
Oh my god.
Lester, you're on watch. You hear someone breaking into the cabin.
Yeah. So yeah, I immediately am like, what are you doing?
Lights up. Kerosene lamp comes on.
Yeah,
Everyone
like,
sits up.
I
And Mike, you are
need
reaching for the same exact bottle.
I need to sleep. You telling me
Well-
you could sleep in this weather without a
Yeah.
drink in you?
lay back down, son.
This Volkov says, we all need to sleep. What the hell are you doing?
I slam the cabinet shut angrily. and I go lay back down.
Little Caius. What's happening?
I think I'm sorry. Just go back to sleep.
It's okay, sweetie. Just go back to sleep. Nothing to worry about except for a crazy man on the corner, but we've got him.
No sooner than you put your head down on the pillow, then you can tell that sun starts peeking through the glass. Like probably a blink later, it feels like. All of you wake up. That was the shittiest night of sleep you've had indoors.
Thanks, Chatsworth.
It wouldn't have been so bad if you just let me just have a little sip. I sleep better with a drink or two in me. I sleep at all with a drink or two in me, especially on a floor like this.
Yes.
Maybe.
Now imagine the poor person who lives out here by himself in the wilderness, and you're going to take from him the one luxury that he has kept for probably the day that something good happens.
Well, I guess I hadn't really thought about it that way. Where we come from, I mean, we all know that liquor is plentiful. I hadn't thought that maybe it was a scarce resource to him, and for that I apologize. And I look over at his daughter, who probably doesn't give a shit about the liquor in the cabinet. Like, I'm sorry.
She's right now you can see she's got like a little piece of charcoal and she's drawing what looks to be kind of like on a board of firewood. She's just drawing little figures. Look closely, you might be able to see a tutu on one of them. Yeah, outside of that, Lebedev is outside butchering up the boar that was last night's kill, and this looks to be, you can already start to smell lovely cut of ham and bits of bacon. Most of it, though, he's also looks to be doing some work to preserve. But yeah, he looks at says something in Russian to you, sorry, but yeah, it kind of translates something to the effect of like you kind of get the sense that he's saying something like it's a shame, we can't really take this far. It would be good to have. It just we don't have time to do what we need to with it.
Right. I'm
It'll
going
be-
to stock some wood into the stove and get that going so it can be cooked, or at least some of it can be cooked.
Yeah, you kind of he sees you doing it. He's like a little clap of appreciation. You almost hear like him starting to whistle, but soon enough, the stove itself seems to be drafty as hell and kind of clunky. There's a bit of it just doesn't seem like the door fits quite right for where the firewood goes in.
I got that. I just go and try and fix the door.
Yeah, go ahead and make a mechanics repair check.
I'm sitting near the girl, and I pull out my brush and I brush my hair. And I'm sitting in a spot where she can notice. And offer to brush her hair too.
She kind of looks at you, looks at the brush, plays with the bristles a bit. Starts brushing your hair with it as well.
So I actually failed to fix the door.
This thing is a piece of shit, has always been a piece of shit, and will forevermore be a piece of shit. But it's also Siberia. So it's it's what they have right there. You can't exactly just go pop over to the hardware store.
I've cooked on worse.
Yeah, I think that's as good as it's gonna get.
Welcome to lifestyles of the poor and vagabonds.
Frozen. Yeah. So you sit and eventually, Katya goes out and she, gathers some eggs from the chickens in a nearby coop. She does some of her morning chores and fetches water for, in a pail from the well. That's, where Vanya is. She'll be back any moment. Any moment. You eat breakfast and it's still warm. Looks to be a overcast day.
Keep
And
checking the
then
windows every once in a while. Do a rove around the outside.
the sun keeps moving farther north. He should be back by now. It's midday. He should be back by now.
Anyone?
Katya begins to panic.
When did he say he would be back?
Noon.
By noon.
I'm sure he's just fine. The deer is probably just so big that it's taking him a little longer to bring the deer back.
Post one person at each of the windows and just keep watching. Give him a little
Yeah.
longer.
I'm going to try to distract the girl. I feel like
Okay.
that's working out.
All right. Let me think. Make a fast talk check. Because you're trying to convince her of something that is, yeah.
I don't have this skill.
You just try and, you're trying to distract her.
We're
And,
we're gonna just pray to the dice gods here and see if it works. That'd be a negative on that. That's a 52.
Ooh.
And I don't have any
Um,
points in that.
yeah,
So that
no.
just
So
brings to its 5.
she just, kind of like stands up and, like, no, I don't care. I don't care about all your brushes and your pretty dancing and all that. I don't. I want to know where Vanya is. I want him back. He should be back by now. He said we were going to. Why did he leave?
He went out hunting. He went to get a deer. He said he'd be back. He should be back any minute.
Why? We could have gone out together. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
He wanted you to sleep. Get some rest.
Be back by now. I'm wide awake now. Great. I've got my sleep. Where is he?
He should be back very soon.
Storms off. See her kind of like, head out, like push the door open, head outside, goes behind a tree and just.
Anyone see what direction he went in?
Is there tracks? Are there tracks outside?
There are.
There's tracks
Tracks
outside.
heading northeast.
Should we maybe see if we can find him before it snows again?
What do we do with his daughter, though? We can't just all leave. Maybe Lebedev and the other one can stay here.
She knows this area pretty good. She might be able to.
Yeah, she's grown up around here, right? Like lived around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody can track her grandfather, it would be her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we take her.
But what if we
What if-
find him
yeah.
dead?
Better to know. What else are we gonna do? We can't leave her here by herself.
we keep jumping
Can't
to the worst conclusion. I mean, this Siberia.
He might just be having a little trouble dragging one of the deer back.
Yes.
Right.
If
What about
anything,
the mission though? We have no heading on where we're supposed to go, and he was
Well,
our.
he knew. He knew
He
where we were
knew.
supposed to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lebedev is our guide too, right? Like he
No.
kind of knows where we're supposed to go, right?
Yeah, Lebedev knows generally like the region. He knows more useful in terms of like generally tracking around the region and survival in this environment. But Yeah, I mean, eventually there's going to be parts of Siberia that he hasn't been to, but
Okay.
I mean, like, didn't they show us on the map kind of where we needed to go?
yeah, you have a general radius of, and also based on where you saw the bands of light emanating from, that gives you a general sense of the overall direction.
So which direction was that from here?
From here, it would be north by northeast. So
And which direction did the hunter go?
he went also northeast.
All right. Well, we got to head that direction anyway. So
Yeah, we're going that
you
way
know,
anyway. Sounds
yeah.
good.
We
Let's
bringing
head
the
out.
boar with us at least?
Well, whatever we cooked, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, the Russians gave us provisions as well that'll
Right.
last a little longer than that. But yeah,
Fresh meat is
Right.
better.
Yes.
Okay.
The rations would be better once if there's no food available. If we should eat the boar while we can and save the rations for when things really get terrible.
Sorry,
That's it. All right.
you were saying
So,
the rations, and I thought you were trying to say Russians in an Irish accent. The rations. It's like,
Yes, the rations.
The Russians look over at Father side-eyed, like,
Yeah, like what did he say?
They go well with potatoes.
I look at the Russians and I say, "Didn't you know he's an Irish cannibal? He's going to eat you Russians as ration."
the Russian dressing. The ration of Russian dressing.
A ration of Russians with Russian dressing.
Oh, God damn it.
Messed
Yeah,
up
so-
tongue twister.
At this, Lebedev and Karloff are more than ready to head out with what they've scrounged together of the boar and what cuts they made and packed up, and also
Sophie.
feeling that they're not making enough progress.
Sophie, maybe you should be the one
Yes.
to tell the girl that she's coming with us. I think that she would appreciate that. I think she would want
Yes.
to and
Katya,
ingratiate yourself.
Katya, we would love. We
Yeah.
want to go and help your grandfather.
Great, it's about time.
No.
Let's go.
Look,
What?
you think you can help us? You know this area better than we do.
Yes.
You can help
No.
find it?
You said he went to go hunting. I'm guessing based on that, he probably went to go look after the deer that we've been tracking. Again, animals we've been tracking for plenty of time, and now we're gonna, I guess, hunt them and kill them for you guys to take. Great. We'll eat what's left, I guess. But yeah, let's go. I know where they are. I know where they've been grazing, anyways.
Let's go.
Good. Let's go.
Show us the way.
Okay. So she immediately kind of like walks out, very boisterous and, just kind of like she's walking out and everything. She flicks a wind chime on the, nearby branch, maybe for good luck. You're not sure. And she heads off, leading you all out to follow her across the wilderness.
I'm last to leave the cabin, and I grab the bottle before I leave.
Okay. You reach into the cabinet, grab it.
Mhm.
You stow it in your pack and head out.
I close the door behind me.
Okay. All right.
Sophie, tell the girl that if we get in a firefight, she's to run the other direction as fast as possible.
I'll tell that to her.
Okay. You get to a point where you're heading across the clearing, and you see you do see tracks of deer as Katya kneels down, kind of like looks at the little footprints in the snow, footprints, and finds a bit of scat. She picks up a bit and feels that it's still a little bit warm. You're close. You shouldn't be far. And here, you left in the morning. Best spot to be downwind would be over here. And she goes to find where, just given the elevation, winds would rise and fall with the time of day. She looks, and soon enough, found his tracks. She finds footprints. And then she traces around to where else he would be. And then sees another set of footprints. And then you see a line that looks like two pairs of footprints and a line between them. Off to the left, you can see another set of paw prints in the snow, chasing after. Then there's a bit of a tumult, some kind of strange pattern in the snow. You're not sure what else. You see the paw prints, you see the footprints, and then a staggered third leading. What happened? He should be here. Where? We need
to follow those.
This isn't right. We need to follow. Let's go. You follow the path. I need you guys to make a stealth check.
I fail.
What was it? Stealth?
Stealth.
Fail.
71 of 75.
Oh,
32 on 75.
I got a 1.
Nice.
Okay. We'll say
59 out of 60. I just passed.
Wow.
good. Very good. So, with a 1, and with the majority of you passing on that, we'll say that Shotsworth and Billy, you guys are kind of like towards the back at least, and Father, you're perceptive enough as you're heading up to where you're the first to hear, and you shush them. So there's no harm done, thankfully. As you hear a sound of laughter down the valley below this next ridge, you kind of start to come up, peer over the edge, and you can see there's a slope leading down into the farther valley below. And on this path leading from this upper ridge, you can see there's a few staggered boulders that have fallen down over the ages. And leaning back, sitting down on the ground, you can see Vanya. His mouth is bloodied. Looks to be have one eye swollen shut. Yeah, he's shaking his head, and you can see on either side of him, you can see a number of enlisted soldiers, not even dressed to blend in like the locals. They're here in uniform. Weistein, Americans, yeah? Or Rostis? Wo ist der Schreiner? Yeah? You can hear them just kind of grab him by the cheek and everything. He pulls his face away.
How many are there of them?
You see 3 at this time. One of them starts speaking. Do
You
any
might
of
be
you
on
speak
mute,
German?
Ben.
I do.
Right. So yeah, you're hearing him saying, "Where are they then? Your American friends? Come on, you pig! Tell me."
How far
It's
away
not-
are they?
You can see that they are probably a good 40 feet down. Maybe hard to gauge, like 40 feet down, like elevation wise, but probably a good like 70 feet down the path. So to get down, it would be a good distance. No real cover between where you are and them if you were to go straight down the path, but you do have the high ground. So
It's over, Anakin.
I do
We
have a
the high-
rifle.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah. You see the high-ranking one. It's no problem. He doesn't want to talk. That's fine. He just wants to play games. I'm perfectly fine with playing games. Yeah. Picks up a stick. Throws the stick. The dog runs off. Fetches it. Yeah, good dogs. That's the thing about dogs. They are very good at following orders. Yes, they obey. They give you love. They do what they can.
Is
They
there
serve.
another way down besides the path?
Straight down. You could you can kind of scrabble down the rocky terrain leading down. So to kind of give you an idea, it's a long flat ridge where you are. So the slope, just like the hill you were climbing up, just led straight to it. From here, it's just a rough kind of downward slope, and then you have this kind of like more natural trail, like convenient trail like path far to the left of you that winds down at a slant, and a gentler slope down the long side of this mountain. That's kind of the trail they're on right now, and along that is where one of the boulders is kind of like reached like kind of like a rivet in the hill where it's settled. That's what he's sitting against, and between you and them, there's gravel and rocks and rough terrain. Yeah, not
Can
really.
I-
Okay, go ahead.
Is there not really any cover anywhere? I mean, like if you're off the
Between-
path, is there cover?
Off the path, not really. I mean, like if you're lying prone, yeah, but like overall, you're using right now. You guys have cover using the ridge itself.
Okay. So
Do I have line of sight? Clear
You have
line
line
of
of
sight.
sight. You all have line of sight. Yeah.
yeah,
Clear
I
line
say
of
we
sight.
engage these guys.
Hoorah.
Unalive them.
Yep.
Eat them. All right. But clear line of sight without. I don't want to risk hitting our new brush.
This Karlov goes. So the party officer comes up, puts a hand on each of your shoulders. We should probably try to get one of them alive. Yes.
Sure.
Whichever one is ranking. Can you see from here?
Yeah, can we tell which
Yeah.
one is ranking?
Looks to be the one with a stick.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wing him. Make it so he can't use his arm.
I got
Tim.
you.
He picks up the stick from the dog. Very good. Very good.
All
puppy.
right.
You
I'm
see him
gonna
reach-
aim in.
He reaches.
I don't
for
want him
his
to hurt
pack.
the
Yeah, he reaches for his pack. Instead of picking up the stick, you see him pick up one of the steel hand grenades.
Okay.
He tucks it and whistles. The dog starts running after it.
As soon as she fires, everybody let loose. Get ready, get aimed in at
Okay.
the second. I'm gonna aim at the second guy if she's aiming in at the officer or
And
whatever he might be.
At the same time this
That's
is all
a
happening,
7.
I'm gonna run towards the dog.
That is
Okay.
a 7 on 75.
Okay.
Ooh, that is a shot.
7 on 75. So, yeah. Shoulder.
Okay. As soon as
Dominant
the thing is
hand.
left- Yeah. He's still got his arm outstretched. This sick smile across his face, watching, waiting to see this happen. Vanya, no! Calls out.
Hopefully, once the guns start retorting, that the dog will run a different direction.
You see a stream of red issue from his shoulder. The Nazi officer falls to the ground.
I have a
Take cover!
I have a 28 out of 75, so it's a moderate success.
Yep, another hit.
And I had an 8 out of 65, so I think that's a good one.
Wow.
Okay, and
Nazi's
then
got a third eye.
yeah,
And you two were aiming for the other two, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm running after the dog to try to stop it from getting
Okay.
that grenade.
yeah.
luck.
Yeah. Running down
Second,
this
yeah.
steep embankment.
So I'll say this: make a. I'm trying to think how if that would be jump or is it like a climb? Make a climb check to see.
There's a climb.
Yeah, make a climb check.
Ooh, it's an 8 out of 20.
Perfect.
8.
Yeah,
Scrambling down this embankment. Yeah.
you immediately, leap over and start scrabbling down the embankment and everything. Just enough commotion going on to frighten the dog, who sees you coming, and with that, the you hear the grenade go off farther down the trail.
Mhm.
The dog flinches and everything, and you see the husky kind of like tail between its legs, cowered, not sure what to do. It's terrified and unsure.
Father Connor's gonna try and like mimic the whistle to like get the dog to come back up this way out of.
Okay,
You know,
what's it
over
saying?
Itra.
Okay, you whistle and call it, and the dog hears that and starts trying to run up. Okay. Yeah, Billy, what are you
I'm gonna
doing?
head down. Where are you going?
So I listened to the instructions, and I just like pounce out of where I was hiding and just start yelling with holding my gun. But then looking around and realizing that everybody has already been shot.
You're just like, ready? Team 3, 2. And then you just like, what's going on? Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And then once I realized that, okay, maybe we're okay. I just look around to see if there's anything else that I could be useful for.
That's right. None of you're gonna do that again.
And stay that way.
The surviving Nazi falls to the ground. Sees you all on the ridge, starts crawling towards the Luger from one of his comrades, one of his fellow soldiers that's on the ground. Starts crawling towards it, reaches for it with his left hand, and then
Did I shoot that left hand?
no, you shot his dominant. Vanya goes.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, Vanya's standing up, puts his foot on it.
There you go.
The Nazi looks up at him, and with a swift kick, sends a spray of blood from his mouth. The Nazi falls to the ground, flat on his face. Vanya looks up, reaches, stumbles back against the rock, clutches his chest. Katya screams, "Granddad!" and starts tearing ass down the trail to get to her grandfather.
Is the Nazi knocked out? I'm running.
Oh yeah,
anyway as
yeah.
well.
With that, with between getting shot and then that kick to the face, he's out cold.
Okay.
Father Connor's gonna come down and try and like see if he can administer some first aid to try to see any cuts, bruises.
You can make a
There is a first aid.
Medicine,
Yeah.
or
they have different things. So there's first aid and there's medicine. It's up to you. I think first aid would be more suitable in this case. Medicine is for more for like long-term treatment and diagnosing.
Yeah. Plus
So go ahead and make a first aid check.
34 on a 30.
Okay.
You could use luck.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use the 4 points to 4 points to give luck to make that a success.
Okay. With that, you can tell that he seems to have more or less mild injuries, but he does look to be going into shock right now. So I think he's just kind of taken aback by all of the things that are happening. So right now, what he needs is probably a blanket, a coat, something, and to be, kept in a safe place.
Need a blanket, quickly. There's something. Quick, he's going into shock.
I'll toss the
seen this-
father a blanket, and then I'm gonna remove the weapons from the Nazi and bind his hands.
Yeah. I do the same. Follow suit with Sarge.
Yeah.
Secure the area, basically.
I start putting the because you mentioned that the Germans had packs or something, so I start just taking the packs and putting them away from the unconscious German and putting them in just a pile by us.
Yeah, search their bodies, look to check their pockets, look for anything that might be helpful.
Start doing that.
You find what look to be on the two enlisted. You find a number of things. A map of the surrounding area with names of places written in German. You find on one of them, some French cigarettes. You find in the other, you find a photograph of a woman. Looks to be probably more what you'd call handsome than pretty. That's okay. You see you see cursive handwriting on the back. Kind of Dear John sort of thing, and
Yeah, Fritz.
yeah, Fritz. Outside of that, nothing significant. Looks to, based on the ranks, these are just Obersoldat and Schreiter. Nothing particularly high rank.
Are these the regular soldiers or the SS?
These look to be regular soldiers, so might not necessarily have as much knowledge of what's going on. Probably scouts found this guy, probably sent off to find out what was going on with that plane. So you can guess that these might be in advance recon units sent out. So with that, Katya and Vanya reunited. She's clutching him and terrified to no end. So you're searching through everything, and it's about this point you hear a sound. That same whine. It's louder now, and you feel like you need to. You're scared as hell because it sounded like it sounded to each of you like it came from nearby, but you know it wasn't, and it's that same orca-like wailing sound, that high-pitched scream, and then another band of light coming from across the horizon. You see, as it's coming, this strange flicker-like effect across the forest. Make a spot hidden check as you see this approaching.
I pass.
Okay.
I failed.
I passed.
Yeah, I passed.
Those of
I see
you,
my teeth, 50 on 50.
okay. Those of you who watched it, you see this happening, and it's an effect that doesn't make sense. As the band of light passes, you see what looks like forests appearing, translucent and not, and as the light washes over the hillsides in the distance, you can see what looks like other landscapes appear, other towns, even settlements. You can see a mountain becoming a lake. You can see these ghosts of other worlds, other times. You're not sure what it is, and this is moving towards you in a flash. And as it comes across where you're standing, you can feel the ground beneath you no longer feels solid. You feel as though it's a strange mix of solid and ethereal. And you see for a moment the soldiers who just were gunned down. You see these ghost-like images of them standing up and moving backwards, rising up from where they were shot. And then you can see another ghost-like echo of the dog running as well. And then another boom, and you can see pine trees growing around you and then fading into nothingness. All of this, and it passes over, and it's done. It's gone again. And then you hear that sound, that same scream from that orca-like being, whatever it is, that anomaly. With that, I think we're going to call it.
Ooh,
Nice.
yes.
That's cool.
Well, this has been fun.
Right?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see where this is going to go.
Oh, this is getting
Yes.
good.
Oh, man. This has just been a fun one so far. Yeah, so I don't know about when we're going to play again next time, but I think we're going to... I think we're just going to get on the Discord and talk it out and figure that out. And...
Or we
Figure it
could
out.
try to shoot every other Thursday like we've been doing. But
It kind of works for me. So,
Yeah, that'd be good.
all right. Same
We'll
that
confirm
time.
schedules.
yeah.
That'd
Sounds
be
good.
All right.
That was
and
fun
I'll-
though.
Yeah, I'll talk to Ash and see if we can start getting these things online. Because, this has been way too much damn fun.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it. Yep.
See, and that's
Thanks,
how I
Matt.
refresh myself. So, like, watch the last episode right beforehand. That I showed some issues.
Yeah. Now I have to write notes.
Right?
Old school.
All right, well, as we always say here on Maids of Fate and stuff. No, fuck the guy. Save the dog. Yeah.
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 See you guys.
Good night.
Later.
Bye.